You're up.
Now to an On Your Side investigation update. For the past 3 years, we've reported on the number of cancer cases in Waycross, Georgia, a number of them involving children. The community asked a federal public health agency to investigate, and after 3 years, his first report is out. Ken Amaro, who's always on your side, now joins us with those results. And Ken, some people may actually find these results disappointing.
They may find it disappointing because after waiting so long, the expectations of the results is not what they expected. This community believes there's a cancer cluster in Waycross. As Anthony just said, more than 5 children in a very short period of time have died from cancer, some very rare forms of cancer. The community believes the problem is environmental. There's one known EPA Superfund site in the community, and then there are 3 other sites that are constantly being monitored. So 3 years ago, the federal agency was brought in to investigate, and this week, it released its results on one site, the CSX rail yard location.
Waycross, Georgia, population 15,000. Why so many cancer cases?
It is. It's very high, and it's very discouraging.
Nyla Griffin, resident and cancer survivor, wants to know.
There is something causing this.
Like many, she was hoping the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry would find the cause.
Did they go far enough?
No, they didn't.
The Public Health Assessment Team investigated the CSX Transportation Rail Yard site. Joan Tibor called the report bunk.
There's no testing. There's no new data.
Tibor and the grassroots organization Silent Disaster petitioned for the investigation.
It's just disappointing. You know, 3.5 years later, and we still have no testing.
Investigators made on-site visits, conducted interviews, and reviewed available data and reports, and reached 4 conclusions. 1, any past and current exposures to chemicals in the canal are not likely to harm children and adults. 2, it cannot conclude whether breathing contaminants in outdoor air near the yard could harm people's health. 3, it cannot conclude if people were exposed to chemicals in the indoor air of their homes. 4, residents on the city water system are not exposed to site-related contaminants in their drinking water.
There's no radiation testing.
The community, disappointed in the report, is pushing back.
We're going to continue fighting. I don't want to see another child die.
Now the public can view the report starting June 14th at the Ware County Public Library. Of course, we will have a link to the report on firstcoastnews.com. The ATSDR will accept written comments from the public until July 23rd. They're also expected to issue another report on another site, the former Atlanta Gas and Light location. We just don't know when that will happen. Back to you.
Ken, thank you for that new information.